Joining me right now is the House GOP leader himself, Kevin McCarthy. It's great to see you, Congressman.
Thanks for having me back on, Maria.
Yeah, and in person on set. Thank you so much for coming in. Have you spoken with the Freedom Caucus? Where is this fight? Where does it stand today?
I've spent hours with the Freedom Caucus. Look, we have a close majority. Exactly what the Democrats had in the last time. And we've laid out to the American public, they chose for us to be in the majority, for us to lead. We need to come together as one, otherwise we will not be successful. We've had a very successful conference last week, I felt.
Well, you won 85% of the vote, and obviously the majority wants you as Speaker, but you've got to get the 218 votes.
Yeah, the difficulty here is we've already had the primary. We've already made that decision, 85% of the conference. If people don't come along, that's going to delay our ability to secure the border. That's going to delay our ability to become energy independent. That's going to delay our ability to repeal 87,000 IRS agents. That's going to delay our ability to hold government accountable. There's no subpoena that can go out until that gets done. And right now, it's actually delaying our ability to govern as we go. So I'm hopeful that everybody comes together, finds a way to govern together. This is what the American people want. Otherwise, we'll be squandering this majority.
You were with Joe Biden this past week. What were you able to talk with him about how business is going to be different should you be the House Speaker? I know that there's a movement right now, for example, to remove the mandate for the vaccine in the military. You spoke with the president about that.
I did. I had a meeting with the president. I laid out very clearly what the difference will be with the new Republican majority. And we're working through what is the NDAA, the National Defense Bill. We will secure lifting that vaccine mandate on our military, because what we're finding is they're kicking out men and women that have been serving. They're not meeting their recruitment. I had a conversation with the Secretary of Defense even last night. But come next week, you'll see that we've been able to. And that's the first victory of having a Republican majority. And we'd like to have more of those victories, and we should start moving those now.
So just to be clear, you're saying in the NDAA, which will drop next week, the vaccine mandate for the military will be lifted?
Yes, it will. Otherwise, the bill will not move. I've been very clear with the president. The president, worked with me on this. This is the first sign of having divided government. You got some compromise here, and we've got something that the Republicans have been working very hard, and a number of Democrats too, trying to find success. But one-party rule would never allow that to go forward, and now we're going to have success.
What else are you planning, and what have you told the Freedom Caucus? Are you making any changes? Are you doing anything to placate anybody who's actually trying to push against you as the Speaker?
Look, I think everybody is respected in the House, regardless of where you are. We got to remember, we're going to sit at 222 members, so any 5 members can hold us up for achieving. I respect all. We came together as one conference. We changed the rules, made it more bottom-up in the process, so I'm not quite sure why people, maybe it's just personal at this basis, but what it's doing is harming. You know, President Trump just put a truth out, I think, last night. He's very concerned what's happening. Mark Levin, a number of people.
All of these people endorsed you as Speaker.
Oh, yes, and Jim Jordan as well.
I want to get your take on really the story of the day, and that is, Congressman, this collusion between the media, between the FBI, the DOJ, all in the face of these enormous forces working against us, like the Chinese Communist Party. What are you going to do to keep the CCP at bay, to stop the intellectual property theft, and to stop this collusion and corruption?
Well, it can't be the same as the past. What I'm going to announce this week is a new select committee on China. I'll announce the chair as well this week. Now, that's why we have to start moving forward. We're going to look at every single industry that China has us leveraged in. We're going to start bringing the supply chain back from China to America. You look at from our medicine, of what's being made in China. You look at critical minerals. You look at what they're doing around the world. This is going to be a committee of Republicans and Democrats alike, focused so we have one policy, one mission to confront China of what they've been trying to do to America and rule the world. And it's one of the best things that we'll see moving forward with the new Republican majority.
I mean, does the media not understand what's at hand, what's at stake? I mean, what about these 51 intelligence officials claiming they're intelligence officials? John Brennan, James Clapper, signing their name to say that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation when we knew otherwise. John Ratcliffe on my show saying that's absolutely not true.
Exactly. Also put in there Adam Schiff. Another change you're going to get. Adam Schiff will no longer be on the Intel committee when I become Speaker. I promised that more than 2 years ago. Why? Another example that he lied about this. You see a Clapper and Brennan using their intelligence clearance to lie to the American public. What Elon Musk has been able to do, now we know why the White House wanted to fight so strongly against him owning Twitter. All he's done is put out the truth. Now we need to start looking at Facebook, at Google. These now have become arms of the Democratic Party, arms of the Biden administration. But they also used the Intel community as well to lie to the American public. Should those people keep their clearances? Should those people still be allowed to have information? If they're going to be political individuals, then no, they should not. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we need to investigate going forward.
Well, I mean, you know, we knew or we had a sense that this was happening at Twitter, but you're right. I mean, what about Google? What about Facebook? We already know that because of sworn testimony, we know that the FBI was having weekly meetings with social media companies to try to stop them from reporting the truth about influence peddling happening in the Biden family.
Think about the timeline of when this was right before the election, just a couple weeks. And remember how close this election was. 95% of all searches go through Google. Twitter withholding a newspaper article saying you can't predict it. Then an Intel community coming out and saying it's a lie. Adam Schiff, the chairman of the Intel, saying it's not true to Wolf Blitzer. They used every arm, not only just of the government, but they had taken over businesses to lie to the American public. This is just the beginning, and this is why we've got to be ready to go on January 3rd from the very beginning. All this will be held up if we don't get it right.
It's just extraordinary what has taken place. I mean, the people want answers. And
you have been on this more than 4 years ago when others, and they attacked you. You watched what happened. So it's not just when people sit back and say, oh, it's just about President Trump. No, it's about America itself. They go after each and every person that questions them. Look at what they're doing to Elon Musk and the successes that he's had. He's not doing anything but putting out papers that he has found. And now they're trying to discredit a person for telling the truth.
Yeah, I saw your interview the other day outside the White House. You said it was disgusting, and it is. And unfortunately, it doesn't appear that the media is informed about these forces like the Chinese Communist Party and what's behind all of this.
How is this different than what's happening in China today, where they try to control every single person?
That's right.
Now we're finding government-used businesses to control what we could find out, what we can say, whether we could even forward or retweet.
Yeah.
Where is the uprising in this process?
That's right. It's exactly right. It's great to see you, Congressman. Thank you. We're going to be watching your leadership on all of these topics. We appreciate it. And breaking news on the vaccine mandate. Thank you for that.
Thank you.